It's hot in this thing.
Hello, good to see you all here. Woo! With like-minded people gathering for a common cause, and that cause is again another assault on our freedoms with the implementation of this vaccine policy. Before I go on, just let you guys know we have a petition against the Scotia Pass. If anybody hasn't signed it, come up and sign it. I also have t-shirts if anybody ordered one or wants to get one, come and see me afterwards. And before I go on, I have to give a big shout out to my buddy Ashley, because she's been hitting the road with me, passing out flyers all over the place, so real good help. She's a help in this movement, that's for sure.
My pleasure, guys.
Okay. Requiring a vaccine passport to participate in civil society penalizes and stigmatizes people for deeply personal decisions regarding their bodies and their health. The United Nations Universal Declaration of Bioethics and Human Rights, adopted in 2005, says, any preventative, diagnostic, therapeutical, medical intervention is only to be carried out with prior, free, and informed consent of the person concerned, based on adequate information. The UN Declaration goes on to clarify that the rights of the individual should take precedence over the interests of science or society. Any documentation that limits individual freedoms on the basis of biology risks becoming a platform for restricting human rights, increasing discrimination and threatening, rather than protecting public health. Friends to freedom, fairness, public health, and inherent to any platform that is designed to segregate society on the basis of biological data. All policies and practices must be guided by commitment to social justice. We live in a free and democratic society. Our liberties and freedoms are constitutionally protected, albeit imperfect in our Great White North. This includes freedom of choice. If someone doesn't want to take the COVID-19 vaccine for whatever the reason is, they have that right. It's nobody's business to know whether another person is vaccinated or not.
Amen.
We cannot force people in a free society to get vaccinated if they don't wish to.
Right.
Now, on September 8th, our Premier, Tim Houston, showed his true colors when he stated, we are taking a cautious approach.
Ball of shit.
There will be a proof of vaccine policy.
It certainly seems
2
that
weeks
way,
previous
buddy.
to that, he said his government
voted
would not
for
be
him.
issuing vaccine passports.
I bet you most
Calling
of
it a
us here
vaccine
voted for
policy
him. We thought we were going to get
does
changed,
not
but
negate the fact that
I
it's a
did too.
passport.
I was ashamed to
So
fucking
Tim
say I voted
Houston,
for
I say to you,
the asshole.
you are a bold-faced liar.
We voted for him.
Exactly. We voted blue, red out to get blue, and in 2 weeks, what did they do?
Went red.
Exactly. They betrayed us.
They've all been
Dr.
installed.
Strange says we will implement
Big
proof
time.
of vaccination
The wolf in
policy
sheep's clothing.
that will be time-limited measure. The vaccine passport is described as a temporary measure. However, history has shown that nothing is more permanent than a temporary government program.
I hope he'll snap to his senses. I don't think he will, but
We anticipate it will apply to activities like
Don't-
dining
don't-
out,
I don't-
going to
I don't think-
bars,
I had
going to
faith in that
movies,
guy,
attending
man.
a
I thought he was
performance
gonna
or
be good.
concert
I
or
don't think he's
sporting
gonna
event,
retract.
or going to a fitness facility.
Fuck,
These
man,
are all
you believe in
social
nobody,
activities
man.
that bring people together. And we know that is
Yeah.
where the virus
That's what I
thrives.
fucking believe in.
Effective October 4th, if you
pissed
cannot
off
show
the
a
world.
fully vaccinated, you
Yeah.
will not be able to participate in these non-essential activities. We don't anticipate that there will be proof of vaccination for shopping. That's not a large gathering. And for many people, shopping is essential.
Do you hear they're
They need to
thinking
get
about
health
contract
care,
tracing
going to
for
faith
people if you have a
services,
party
going
at
to
your house, they're
shopping.
gonna come down to it.
He says,
if you get
we are not
reported that a lot of
requiring
people at your
anyone to
house,
be
they're
vaccinated.
gonna come into your
You
house
will remain having
and
a
get
choice.
people sign papers on who they
Individuals'
are,
rights to
where they're
choose
from,
has
their
to
numbers.
balance with the collective
did hear that.
responsibility
It's happening
to
in
keep one
Quebec.
another safe.
Quebec already.
Serious?
For those of you who have not gotten vaccinated,
I'll tell
This
them,
is-
you will
you
remain
ain't
out of
welcome
the
to
choice.
get the hell out.
This man.
Is that contradictory in one sentence?
I'm sorry, I was kind of swearing. I didn't notice.
I ask you, how can restricting your freedoms of movement become freedom of choice?
I don't know why this thing keeps
This is
doing
their
that.
logic.
It's like it's
A
focused.
temporary policy
Maybe
that would not
focus.
restrict access to the essential.
Focus. That's what it is.
It's encouraging you to make a decision, but it's not forcing you to get vaccinated. You still have freedom to decide. That's not changing. The only thing changing is the access to non-essentials. We are not forcing anybody, actually. We're actually not making vaccines mandatory. We are not making, we are saying if you want to come to our non-essential establishments, you must be vaccinated. That's their logic. Whatever they want to call it, whether it's a vaccine card, immunization card, vaccine certificate, proof of vaccine policy, it is still a vaccine passport that will be restricting your life and will become an even more loss of our freedom. The full implications of widespread vaccines surely will divide society.
Yeah.
Those persons who cannot or choose not to be vaccinated for COVID-19, as is their fundamental right, will be excluded and denied a normal existence. They will vilify
Segregation,
you in
but
the
it's just
media
like
and
what
by
the blacks went
government,
through in the U.S.
ostracized by society, and
back in the
ultimately
40s and 50s.
Oh, yeah,
persecuted.
segregation.
White
Those
water
who
for white
defend them
people,
will be
water for black
censored,
people.
silenced,
Colored,
and
as they
punished.
called it.
The Canadian
It'll be
Charter
us.
of Rights and Freedoms is intended
no
to
rights.
ensure a free and democratic society. This includes the right to receive or not receive a vaccine.
These businesses
The right to
better
travel
understand. The
in person,
government's telling them they're not
provincially,
essential.
and
The only thing that's
internationally,
making
and the
them
rights of
essential is
citizens
us
to
people.
criticize and
Exactly.
Everybody, the
voice concerns
population,
about
but
both persons,
the sheep
government
don't care
measures.
about us.
They don't care. Well, they'll care when their
It should be
businesses,
clear
all
to
these small
everyone
businesses
that
shut down.
this circular process of
You don't think there's a lot more than us right here in the office? Just there's a lot of people who don't want to speak
It's
up.
never
Yeah, I
meant
know.
to
There's
end.
thousands.
The
Yeah,
goal
there's
of the
thousands.
establishment of
Well,
government
they gotta
is to
start
keep the
speaking out,
restrictions
man.
in place
have to.
That's the
indefinitely.
only thing that will change anything,
The
Paul.
passwords are the key.
It'd be nice to come here and see 1,000 people or 10,000 people.
Tyranny cannot be established. Without the passports, they have
But
no
anyways.
leverage over the population to dictate the fundamental aspects of our life. They need those passports in order to get their great reset.
That's right.
The government is campaigning on a policy that will single out and vilify a huge segment of the population for
I
exercising
don't know if
their
that's
right
good or
to make
bad.
their own medical choices.
Sometimes they lay on the horn.
This
It's not a good thing, right?
transition
I'll
from
take it as a
public
good one.
shaming
Yeah.
to outright discrimination. Once implemented, these vaccine passports will go digital. Then when they will be able to surveil you and track your every move. It's obey or else.
Did you
Once
hear see the
Scotia
thing about the
passes
social
enacted,
distancing thing?
showing proof of
Started
vaccination
in
will
Western
become,
Canada.
you
It's the same
need a
stuff as
booster
originated
shot.
in
You
China.
don't get that booster, you
So you have a
will be
social
considered
credit
unvaccinated
system.
until you get that third or fourth or
Your
fifth
credit,
jab.
what you get
This will
points.
become a never-ending story.
based on your
with
income,
government's total
based
control
on
over every aspect of our life.
Everything, man.
The
It's
immunity
like it's all
passport
taken
of
into
today
account.
will
You
become
get so
the
many points.
all-encompassing biological
What do you do with your
passports
points?
of tomorrow.
You can get
The
to
whole
use
point
for
of
goods and
immunity
stuff.
passports is to control movement.
You're a good little
The
sheep.
COVID response and restrictions
There's
have
another one.
nothing
It's a
to do with
carbon
public
card.
health
It's called.
and everything
I was
to
reading.
do
I
with
said I
public
can't believe
control.
this shit. So you're
Nova
basically
Scotia
allowed
will
to
have two classes
emit
of
a certain amount of carbon. You're
and
allowed to
even
purchase
those
it
of us
if you
who have had
if somebody has
the will be living
a
in a
massive
new dystopian
influx of it.
world of
Then you can
ID
purchase
papers
some
and
of it from
checkpoints.
that person and all this
You will
stuff.
be presumed unclean.
It's just like it's
until you
control,
prove
man.
that
It's
you
all
are
control.
one of the
Your
righteous
soul,
ones.
man.
It's control.
A good
It's all
citizen.
kinds of control,
With
buddy.
your government issued stamp of approval. Totalitarianism inherent in the Scotia Pass. What I see is a deadly serious need. A need for an organized
Well,
front
we're getting sore
line
here.
against the storm of
It's almost 9
dictatorship
minutes.
that is on our doorstep. There is a time for preparation and a time for taking risks. People, today is that time. Without risk, there is no freedom.
That's right.
We are quickly approaching a time in which true believers could decide the fate of the world for the next century.
Oh.
Today, we are that grassroots and organic movement that needs to be assembled to fight back against rising tide of totalitarianism.
Yeah.
Each of us can only do a small part, but together tracks. I believe we are living here now at this crossroads for a reason. I believe we are meant to be here, that we are being given a chance to be the right people in the right place at the right time.
That's right.
I believe that we can end evil, but only if we dare to try. It begins with one simple step. Tell the world, we will multiply! The promise to institute a vaccine pass restricting access to public places on the basis of vaccine status is a clear sign that now there must be a resistance.
Yes.
We must be organized at a local level with our community and local businesses ready to make a stand. This must start now before it's too late.
Yes.
It's time to boycott those non-essential establishments like restaurants, bars, movie theaters, fitness facilities, concerts, and sporting events who refuse service to those without proof of vaccine status. These are all social activities that bring people together.
You know how that message
our
is gonna be
government wants to
successful?
divide.
What's that?
Let's be very
If you have
clear.
1,000 people to think
Our
like that,
government is saying
but you
is
gotta get
that
people,
war
you
is
gotta
peace,
tell like
freedom is slavery,
some
ignorance
message
is
just
strength.
like the way
That is
people
how our
think
government
100 years
thinks.
ago. Tell
Lest
five
we forget
people.
Oh,
the
yeah.
And
wars
those are
that
and
were
one
fought
each
to
person
give us
tells five
freedom.
I tell everybody.
A few
So
I'll tell you right
generations
now.
ago,
Even the ones
we
that
sent our
don't
young
want to
men
listen get a
overseas
little
to
bit of
die
an
for these
earful of
reasons.
it.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
must
yeah.
honor
And I
them
guarantee you,
by
I
continuing
had
to
a pretty
fight
good-
it's gonna get
on
to a lot of
young
on
fella
those
at the
very
gym last night.
freedoms.
He's probably about 20. I could tell within 2
The
minutes
Vikings
or
had a saying,
15 seconds of talking to him.
it is better
Very
to
liberal.
stand and
Oh, I
fight.
believe everything.
If you run, you'll only die tired.
I
He's
say,
a nice kid, but he just don't know what's up in the
he-
world, right?
So,
they're
when
very
it comes to tyranny,
naive.
Yeah.
They're very young,
when
so that's the
tyranny
problem.
becomes
Mind is
law,
twisted in
revolution
school.
becomes our duty.
Kids.
That's right.
In closing, I will say to you, I choose to live by choice, not by chance. I choose to be motivated, not manipulated.
Yeah.
I choose to be useful, not used.
Yes.
In a democratic country, I have the right to choose and not be mandated to choose what I do not want in order to be free. I choose liberty. Who's with me? Thank you. We love you. Thank you. Now I'd like to bring up our PPC Sydney Victoria candidate, Ronald Barron, to say a few words.